The Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. You know this book?
Yep.
So the book is truly a book of warriors, right?
Yep.
You know, it's a warrior talking to a warrior. So for listeners, if you don't know what the Book of Five Rings is, Miyamoto Musashi was a Ronin. And he was born back in the late 1500s. He was the most revered swordsman at his time. He developed the art of Ishiru, which is the art of dual swords. He was a Ronin. He was a philosopher. He was a gardener. He was everything, right? That I wanted to be in the aspects of a warrior. And here he is. He wrote the Book of Five Rings, where he broke it down into a way of living. He broke down the elements of water, land, earth, wind, fire. And at that time, I was like, man, I'm full of fire because I'm full of hate.
Yep.
And I needed to balance it with some kind of serenity, which is water-based. So I was looking at Musashi and I was reading his books. And I think what was unique about this whole thing is that Musashi wrote this book in the year 1645 and died 10 days afterwards in the Buddhist cave.
Wow.
You know, I meditated in that cave years later.
Wow.
The same cave. Well, at that time when I picked up the Book of Five Rings, I found my internal strength. There was one thing that Musashi said that really stuck to me. He said that all your strengths come within. Do not look for anything elsewhere. All your love, your passion, everything comes from within. You must look within. As I walked my new path, I was reborn into Ronin. So in a path of a Ronin, in Bu Shi Do, Bu means to intercept the spirit in Japanese, to stop evil. Shi means the one who has the strength to walk that path, to truly walk it. And Do is the finer stages of life where you take your whole life lesson and give back for the sake of humanity. So I'm in the stages of Do in my life to reflect and to give back. So in that process of being a modern day Ronin, I sorted out to help my countrymen. You know, because you think about all the crimes and everything that's going on. I told you I've been to 27 countries. I have seen acts of genocide. I have seen little kids got their bombs strapped on and you know, they'll detonate in the middle of a crowd. See, I've seen a lot of things that people don't see.
Right.
So I love my country, and I swore an oath to protect it. So where do you go after you get out? Do you stop? You stop being a patriot? Right.
Most people do.
Right, does, right? Yeah, because they go into their drinking stupor or their medication, and you don't hear from them anymore.
Yeah.
And I never wanted that, man. You know, that's not the way. It's not the path. So I picked up my sword and I walked. Right? And they always say, you know, an old Chinese saying is, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So one step, I walked, right? And I continue to walk.
See, I don't have control of my rifle, see? I'm not using the structure of my arm. But if I bring this out into that L, see, I have complete control of my rifle. You understand? You see it? Some of you guys are doing this shit. So your body's kicked off away from the fucking gun. You understand? You want to get behind the gun like this. You want to get behind the gun, right? And you want to lay belly to ground. So that's what I'm saying. If you have all this shit on, can I get belly to ground? I'm getting a baseline data right now. I'm not doing tactical shooting, okay? I kind of set up a support by fire position. If I don't have a bag, I use my mag, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this rifle into the butt of my shoulder. And I want to identify a certain portion of this rifle, right, that I'm going to use a portion of my face to put against the rifle, right here. So when I put my rifle on my face in that certain portion, right, I'm always finding that sweet spot where it completely finds that zero, understand? So I'm developing that path. To find my natural resting position, I close my eyes and I wiggle my body. And then I let things settle and I open up my eyes. That red dot, if it's on that target, that's your natural shooting position. That's what your body goes to when you're not fighting. Right? When you're fighting everything, where you're not going to get a fucking good zero because your whole body's tense and you're trying to stabilize the muscles when you shouldn't be. Get it? Lay behind the gun, let that recoil absorbs in your body and it muffles through your feet. Or emergency reload drill, a bolt lock, right? Reload. So on a bolt lock reload or emergency reload, you want to be able to move to your lifeline, whatever your lifeline is, okay? My lifeline is my program position of where I'm going to reach once my mag goes dry. Back in the old days, I used to carry the ready mags. Remember the ready mags where it had like the mags on the side? I liked that until it made my gun fucking heavy, right? And then I had to climb over walls and shit. And then this got released, and then this mag fell out. I'm like, ah, shit, under night vision trying to pick it up, right? So I went away from that because in confined spaces, that also bulks up my gun. And I don't need it because I'm programmed to move to a different position now, right? So if you look, I'm very streamlined, right? I'm not, bulking up my kit. I want to keep everything streamlined because I need to be able to move efficiently, right? In close quarters, you have to move. All right, so this is a great drill that I love, is that I take a full mag and an empty mag, all right? So I take the full mag and I put in my weapon and I hit it forward. Then I take the full mag out and I put the empty mag in. Now I do a press check. So what's going to happen? What did I just set up, man? Right, bolt lock, right? So it's going to require me to conduct a emergency reload. So how I usually do it is I always like to move to my regular work position, my workspace. So imagine on a pistol when you're shooting, right? You have a workspace. Same thing with a rifle. Notice how I adjust my buttstock. The reason why I adjust my buttstock at that length is because once I drop, I'm still getting this gun to my workspace. Make sense? So I have full control over this weapon. If I'm here and I'm trying to work here and I'm not using my buttstock, do I have control? I've seen guys reload like this, okay? Look how sloppy the gun is on you. It's moving around on you. So if I have it here and I'm moving here, it's basically the same mechanics as a pistol. In a gunfighting world, right, you want to keep a lot of things universal, man, right? Mechanics are mechanics, and you want to keep those mechanics the same as much as you can, right? So if you have one methodology for a rifle and another methodology for a pistol, when I'm talking about methodology, I'm talking about stance, I'm talking about, the push, I'm talking about mechanics of economy and motion. If you have one way to do something else and one way to do something else for another, then you're not finding your thing, man. You're not finding that universal skill that's critical to all, right? So this is a universal skill. Workspace is a universal thing between all the platforms. If you can't do a reload in your workspace, man, if you can't do it on your workspace, then you definitely can't do it in the low areas, right? Not proficiently. All right, so eyes, ears. We're at close distance. Remember, your holds on a close distance. So I'm going to push it out nice and slow. I'm going to push it out, fire, slide lock. It bolts to the rear. Now I'm coming back to my high compress. Now I'm coming back in, fire again. Safe. Take the mag out, put it back into my lifeline, come in, reset the drill. Again, push it out. We understand the drill. This is how you work lifelines, okay? If your lifeline is a rack system, this is how you work the rack system. This is how you work your equipment, your kit. So you keep on doing the drill repetitively into its muscle memory to get it back there. So a lot of people ask me, hey, do I put my mags, bullets forward? Or did I put bullets backwards? Right? You get what I'm saying? You put it wherever you want to put it, but I'm telling you, for my natural position of my hands, right? If I'm here, I don't want to twist my hand anymore. I'm just going to come back like this, see? And then the mag inserts in. It's already in its proper orientation. If I have bullets forward, if I'm coming back, notice my hand. I'm coming back here, grabbing, then I'm going to have to twist. See it? So you might as well set it up for success, right? So think about how you shoot, economy of motion. So if the bullets are backwards, then it's a clean grab and it's a natural fit, right? Okay. I'm just saying, when you're wearing your equipment, wear to whatever, how you move, right? How you do your reloads. And if your reloads are slow and not proficient, then you need to reevaluate that again. All right. Fresh target on center. So I'm going to bring it out here. I'm going to bring it out here. Drop. Insert here. Back up. Safe. Okay? And now I'm resetting. Watch how I do it. Nice and slow, nice and smooth, okay? Round in the chamber. Watch. Up, nice and slow. Here, safe. Bring it back. Insert it in. Back up. Back on safe. Confined space carbine. All right? It's 3 o'clock. Confined space carbine. I took you as far as I can. Obviously, there's a lot more. Right? There's a whole lot more to this. It's, you know, I mean, when I put together the curriculum back on the teams, this was 10 days long. Okay? So you got a snapshot of it. Your homework is download the fucking targets, go to the range, get within 5 to 7 to 10. That's close quarters range, right? And work your groupings. The drive, the rapid reloads, the mounting of the rifle on your shoulder, right? That's all important. Hand and eye coordinations. One of the drills I used to do is I take a shot, boom, freeze, and then they'll bring in numbers to my peripheral, and I'll call Alpha Bravo. I'll authenticate those numbers, right? Because what I'm trying to do is train my peripheral vision as well, okay? Do you notice that as the day progressed today, right, you were doing the same repetitive stuff, but there was more shit. Like now it's driving the gun, now it's a rapid reload, now it's changing positions. But it's the same shot placement, it's the same holds, the same targets, correct? And that's what you need to do. You need to slowly start building, right, all the skills. So first is what? I don't know, driving the gun, understanding your holds, right? And the next thing's driving the gun. And then how do you understand your holds and driving the gun? You go to shrink the targets down. What are the 3 things that matter when I'm engaging a target? That's right. Those are the 3 things that go in my mind, because if I'm far away from the target, let's say if I'm here, I can take a rapid, boom, 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 boom. And as I go, now he's 25 meters, I'm going to have to slow it down, right? Because all the fundamentals have to be there. Your mind can easily run away with you. If you don't have control over yourself, then the spirit will take control over you. Have you found out today, or for the guys that trained yesterday and the day before, that when you get flustered, you go back to your state of training? Right? Even when you're trying to break that nasty habit, when you get flustered, you go to that state of training. That's your spirit. And you get rid of that spirit by training to a state of no mind. When all thoughts and emotions are eliminated, truly your training kicks in. There's no other state in training. There's no other state. And I'm telling you, as a survivor of multiple gunfights, that you kind of, when adrenaline kicks in, you almost have an out-of-body experience. And your training kicks in, or it doesn't. You live, or you die. Right? You're never going to rise to the occasion. You're going to rise to your level of training. That's all to it. And if your level of training is just in movements, then you didn't train the mind. If you train the mind, then you really didn't train the body. You see where I'm going with this? All right. What did we learn today? What did we learn? Start pushing it out. What means the most to you? What you learned today? Aggressive, right?
Emotions,
Okay.
fast movement, slow.
Being aggressive is like a shot group, right? If your shot group's outside and you're overly aggressive, then that's no good. That's a waste of energy. Okay, you need to channelize your energy. So if I'm overly aggressive in my movements and my shot placement are off, then I move with aggression. I shoot right slow. Okay, until my slow becomes faster. And the more you get off the gun, you got to warm up and get back on it. Okay. All right. Any questions from me?